Detry phone?
Go ahead.
How you doing?
There he is. How you going?
Fine,
Yeah.
thank you. Can you give a sense of how difficult it is out there, Thomas?
Yeah, it just really switched. That rain sort of came in, and I hit a driver on hole number 8, sort of in meters, sort of 230, 235 to cover the slope, and I smoked my driver thinking I'll be perfect, it'll be way up there. And it pitched like 20 yards short of where I really thought it would pitch. So it really certainly switched as soon as the rain and the cold sort of came in. Obviously the wind is up there as well, so it's definitely tricky. You know, the greens have slowed down a little bit with the moisture as well. I played some really, really good golf today, to be honest. You know, it's a bit of a shame those last 2 bogeys. I made bogeys and I hit great shots. You know, hole number 16 played incredibly long.
Yeah.
I played with Chris Goddard, who hits it pretty hard, and he just hit an incredible forehand. Still pitched short. I hit mine just front edge of the green. Actually left myself a really easy putt, but you know, the moisture, the wind, and everything left it 4 or 5 feet short, and I missed the one coming back. So a bit of a shame to have bogeyed that 16th hole, but hit a great drive on 17, same on 18. So I'm pretty happy with the way I've played, and I think I'm in a decent position.
What about your attitude? You were just saying there that that was good bogeys. You know that what you chalk things up to. How do you keep the right attitude, the mentality?
It's not easy. I feel like I've been getting a little bit impatient, but today was good. You know, I stayed really patient. I came back on the par. After the rough start, I was 2 over after 4 holes, I think. So it was really good. You know, just it's all about, you know, like conditions like this out here. You think you're having a bad day or you're getting unlucky, and then you get home at night and you see that everybody has had the bad breaks and everybody's missed the short putts, and you think it only happens to yourself, but it happens to everyone. So you got to keep that in mind and look at the bigger picture and just keep focusing on little things, you know, like routine and hitting good shots and determined targets. So I feel like that's really the key.
Yeah. What about the first hole that might look fairly innocuous to some people, but it's actually playing one of the hardest today?
Yeah,
what is it about that?
It's so tough. I think it's a tee shot, you know, like the wind, you sort of don't really feel the wind, but it's enough to ride. There's 2 bunkers sort of in play with, if you hit driver, I quite like to hit a little driver, but then the wind is off to right hard, so if it comes off a little bit left with a draw, it's OB. You know, like you're very conscious of it. I've got my 3-wood. I sort of like to draw it as well, and I was sort of conscious of that as well. Like if I sort of overdraw it a little bit too much, it goes 1 bounce OB. So I sort of held it right a little bit, and then suddenly it spins up a little bit, and you've got 200 yards into the wind, up the hill to the flag. So I think that's one of the reasons why. I think hole 1 was probably a hole where you probably had to take on the tee shot a little bit. You know, sometimes there's a couple of holes and it feels like you just want to get it in play, but it might not be the right play out there. Like you sort of want to be a bit more aggressive off the tee and make sure that you sort of get it in play a bit more aggressive to let yourself a better chance to make par, because it's really long. So I feel like for me, I mean, I hit 3-wood, but probably a chip driver would have been the right shot.
Right, yeah. Can't be easy when you're surrounded by the grandstands there as well, because you can't feel the wind, and like you say, if it's coming off the right, it brings that left side in.
It's quite narrow, you know, and you feel like the right bunker is in play, but it's not really in play because you sort of hold it against. But then if you sort of turn it into with the wind, then the left bunker is in play. So I think it's just a brilliant hole, you know. It makes you think. Yeah, I bogeyed it, you know, like I shot even par after that. It was pretty good golf.
Yeah. Have you played the Women's Opens going to Royal Porthcawl in a couple of weeks' time? Have you played the course? What do you make of it?
I've never played Royal Porthcawl, but I know it's in Wales. I know it's an incredible links course, but I've never played it.
Well, for you, when you have a chance to play a links course and you get to play it, what typically is the right mindset when you show up on a property of a links course?
Well, it all depends on the weather, really. I mean, the only mindset is to sort of wait and see what you get, you know, like the wind could drop now and the rain could stop, and then I'm going to be lying T100, you know, and then if the wind keeps going and it keeps raining, I'm going to be T25 at the end of the day. So, you know, that's one of the things that you have to keep in mind. You know, that's just whatever the nature brings you, you know. That's what the name of the Open, forged by nature, really. That's what the golf course does, and that's what it does to you, really.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it, buddy. Good to see you.